What up? What up? What up? Uh, Hello, good morning. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, yeah. All right, good morning. So let me share the link. Let me share the link so that members will join up and we'll begin. Yeah, let me share the link so that members will join up and we'll begin. So while waiting, always like the live. Right, it's gonna help other members see it. Right, just give it a like. It's no big deal. I believe today is clear. I believe you guys can hear me clear and you guys can see my screen. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So today will be a good day. So just a minute. Let me share out the link so that members will join up and we'll begin. All right. So let's begin. So let's begin. Now, let's check out BTC first, right? Which is among the first currency I trade. Right. Let's check out BTC and let's see what we're having on BTC. So let's see what we have on BTC. So on BTC, we still expect more buys. Remember, we took a couple of buys. Was it yesterday? Right, we had the analysis a day before, but it played out yesterday. Then I'm still expecting buys on BTC, but if I'm buying, where do I expect this price to get to? Right, where is it gonna likely get to? So I want to go to a higher time frame to mark out that level. And by the way, if it's your first time coming across this live, or if it's your first time joining us here, right? My name is Goswell, and this very channel is dedicated to helping you guys become profitable, right? So I do live most of the time. So just join the Telegram. The link is in the description. That's where I will drop the information if I'm gonna do any live. I do live most of the time. So doing my analysis live with you guys, showing you what I'm expecting, and then we take trade live just like that. So there's the link in the description. And also, if you want to learn how I trade, right, you can also join my mentorship class. Right, it's not just course. The mentorship class is not just me sending out courses. Right, I'll guide you. You ask questions. We have a general group. Right, you can see a couple of questions. Students are asking me once you have your setup, you drop. I'll go to the setup, analyze it on my own chart, and then drop the feedback for you, just like that. So that's all I do here, right? So I also have the Telegram where I drop the signal, and recently I had a Twitter S account. I'll drop this S account in the description, so you guys will go and then follow up on this S account. So it's just a new account I created recently. So let's see how it's gonna go. So let's analyze and let's see. Now BTC we still expect more buys, and we're gonna keep buying. This is a potential zone it can get to, right? This very order block on a daily time frame. Then on the 4 hour time frame, you're gonna see it's pretty much the same thing. Right, 4 hour time frame now we have it as a blue candle, which we can mark out. But I don't like marking it out because that's a possible zone I expect the price to get to. Right? So this is where I can expect the price to get to right here. Unplug it from there, then plug it in. Just a minute, guys. Check now. Oh, thank you. Awesome. Good. All right, so let's go on. Now, this is a potential zone. I can expect this. She is still live. Still live, Abby. So this is a potential zone. I can expect this sale to happen from. So I can keep looking out for buys till it gets to that very zone, right? Now, I want to go to a lower time frame to get where I will take my buy from, right? So I can know I'll be taking buys till it gets there. Now, on a lower time frame, pretty much my entry time frame, we have this order block which failed, right? It's not like a breaker block, right? First, the price has already mitigated that very level, has already respected it, tap on it and went up. Now, this is the level I expect it to get to. So it has not gotten here. I'm not going to pause my buying yet. I'm going to keep looking out for buys since that has not gotten there. Now, if I'm going to buy, I'm going to look out for a potential liquidity zone, which this low has liquidity. There is a chance that the price will come to take out this liquidity, then continue the buy to get to this my sell zone. But I'm not gonna just jump on sell as that very zone, right? Now, the potential buy zone now, since the price out this low as liquidity, is gonna be from this breaker block. We have this last opposite candle as a form of a breaker block. You can see this last blue candle. Price came there, tapped on it, respected it for some time, but just violated it. Now, this low can act as a liquidity protecting the breaker block, and the breaker block is a possible buy zone. Right, so on BTC, I'm watching this very POI to take my buy. And by the way, before I continue doing any analysis, we have news, right? We have news by 1:30 p.m. Nigeria time. Right, we have CPI news, right? The CPI news by 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time. So these are the CPI is being traded most times. Right, just a minute. Let me go through something. So I'm just with the CPI data. Remember, we don't know if our trade is gonna activate before CPI, right? So with this data now, so I will know if it's aligned with what I'm doing. Then I'll know what to do. So most times it's always when the CPI is low, right? It's always gonna be good for dollar. Right? When CPI is low, it's always gonna be good for dollar most times. But I don't usually trade CPI often, and I'm not so good at trading CPI. Right? So we have a news by 1:30. Today is Thursday, I guess. So this then Euro USD or Euro also has its own news by 1:15. So those are trade Euro careful, and 1:30 for the major CPI. And most times when CPI goes down, right, when CPI goes low, I guess that's when we expect a bullish dollar, right? CPI is a consumer price index, so you're gonna expect a bullish dollar if it goes down. But prediction now, as our forecast is saying, it's gonna likely go up. So we're expecting a weaker dollar. Right? We expect a weaker dollar and a stronger other currency. Right. So once we are doing analysis on dollar, I'll go through that and then see what I'm expecting on dollar. And we'll make sure it's aligning with the CPI data. Now, on BTC, I'm still gonna look out for buys till it gets to this very zone. Once it gets here, that's when I'll start maybe looking out for sell. If you watch initially, I guess I already dropped this very setup on the Telegram. This is the level I'm waiting for BTC. Why? Because it has this low. It has this low as liquidity protecting itself. Itself is a breaker block. It has this low as liquidity. But now this is a higher POI. Why am I using this? Because it had this low as liquidity. So both POI are valid, and this higher one is closer to the price. So there's a chance that this is the one the price will likely respect and just continue the buy. Now I'm gonna look out for this very buy, and this is a POI I'll be buying from breaker block. This low can act as liquidity. Then I'm buying from here. Right, this should happen before the CPI. Then if you watch, this is another POI area here, breaker block, and this low is also a liquidity protecting the breaker block. So both are valid, whichever one the price respects. But this is the higher one, which is where we'll likely take the trade from first. Now I will prefer this trade activate and start moving before the CPI news. Right, I would prefer this trade activate and start moving before the CPI news because we don't know how the CPI is gonna react, right? And me personally, those that know me, those that have been following me, I don't always love trading the news. Right? I always tend to avoid the market during news. But this is what we're seeing us on this market. Right. So I'm taking this very trade and let me type out everything and then we take the trade. So it's giving us about 44, almost 45 pips, 44.8. That's about 45 pips. Then you should know how to calculate your risk with the risk management class I did on my YouTube. So let me type out everything. And with what happened on US 30 yesterday, if you watch, my US 30 got activated, right? So many other traders got activated on that US 30, but most of you guys miss out on the trade, right? Why is that? Because this different broker, right? They have their different price provider, right? On this very BTC now, I'm analyzing with Coinbase price provider, right? This Coinbase price now might be different from that of SNES, right? So you have to go over to your MT5 before taking the trade. You check. I'm taking it from this 15 minutes time frame on breaker block. So you check and then see, okay, this is a 15 minutes time frame where I'm taking it from. You might now have a different price entirely, a different entry entirely. Then stop loss slightly below the breaker. You also place a stop loss right there. Right, it's gonna be the same around 40, 45 pips, but now it will be different prices, right? Just so you won't, the price can come here, activate our trade on this price provider, but yours might not get there. Yours might just get to somewhere and then start buying without activating your own trade. Why? Because you are using this price provider. So just a quick one. I've talked about it before, but just trying to remind you guys. So this is what I'm having on BTC. BTC buy limit is much closer to the price, and it has all the confirmation we need. Right here, we don't stay without taking risk. Once opportunity is right there, we take the risk. If it's gonna go well, we make money. If it does not go well, we take the loss. Right? So the entry is about 112,971. Stop loss is about 112,522 points 95. Like I told you, it's about 45 pips. So whatever you are risking or whatever lot size you are using, you should know what you will lose. Take profits about 114,987. So pretty much what I'm expecting, you manage risk wisely and we see how this will go. Targeting one is to 4 risk to reward ratio. So let me drop this. This is the first setup we have today. If you notice, this week I'm pretty much active. If you watch closely, I'm active this week. So I mean, we've taken a couple of trades. We've taken about 4 trades. But I'm gonna drop the history right in the groups. We've taken about 4 trades this week, right? Three give us 1:2, 1:2, 1:2 risk to reward ratio. Some give us 1:3 risk to reward ratio, but we didn't take profit on those 3 trades. Right? They later reversed and came back to break even. So 3 trades now were break even, and we've taken one profit yesterday, giving us 1:3, right? Yesterday on GBPJPY. So we've taken 4 trades, no losses this week, right? No losses so far. About 3 break even and 1 full take profit. So that's how it has been this week. This week it's pretty much right because I'm active. I didn't keep any setup to myself. That's why we had much opportunity and we didn't take profit. Right, that's one thing we were doing wrong. On gold, that was on Tuesday. We acquired about 1:3, but we didn't take profits. We're waiting for 1:4. Same thing on US 30 yesterday, and I guess the other one was it on BTC? Right, we'll check. So this is what I'm having on BTC. Let's see how this is gonna go. Let's see how this is gonna play out on BTC today. And like I told you guys, this should happen. Right, this trade should activate and start moving before the CPI comes out. Right, if it does not activate, then I don't trade the news. I might let you guys know if we'll cancel the trade. Right, just like that. So let's check out other market. I don't know why you guys don't react on this Telegram. Where the reaction is pretty low. If you're on the Telegram, always react so I know you guys are active and you guys are taking the trade, right? So I'm just gonna watch out for this buy on gold, but gold is now bearish, like I explained yesterday. And on gold, this is where we had our POI yesterday. Right? I guess I did the analysis on this other market. So on gold, this is where we had our POI yesterday. I told you guys that this is the level we can expect gold to get to, and then we'll look out for a possible buy. Right? I'm still watching out for this very zone. Right? If it's gonna likely get here, then we buy. Right? But it's pretty much risky. Why is that? Because gold is likely now bearish. There's a trade I was meant to take yesterday, but I didn't check it out this way. I didn't look at the market that way. Right, we have this order block at this left hand side. You can see this right here. Then this very order block now had this high as liquidity. Then it had this low as break of structure. Right, break of structure is present. It had this high as the structural liquidity, which is the internal pullback before break of structure. Then itself is the order block. So this was where gold got then started dropping. So I missed this very move yesterday. Right? Now we don't just watch out, we don't just keep repeating what we've missed. Now, what am I expecting? Right? What am I expecting? right? What am I now expecting on gold? This is a possible buy zone where I marked out this very zone. 4-hour time frame, you're gonna see is like an order block. You can see as a week, right? This is how it looks on a 4-hour time frame. Then on a 2-hour time frame, it's pretty much similar, right? It's pretty much like that week on this. Around the 2-hour time frame, you can see it's still like weak rejection, which they are order block on a lower time frame. So this is a pretty cool zone, a pretty valid POI. The POI is active right there, right? It's valid, a nice POI to buy from, but want to see all our criteria complete. There is low is just now acting as liquidity. Pretty much the second thing we need, right? So this low is already acting as liquidity, and gold was bullish, but now it's likely now bearish, right? That's the reason I'm still doubting this very buy. Why? Because everything is complete, right? Liquidity is present, order block, which is where we're taking the buy from. But I want to know the direction of the market. If sellers are the ones in charge, this will just happen. It will just drop aggressively and then take us out. That the sellers are in charge. So, which is going to help you know your structure or the order flow. So, if buyers are still the ones in charge, then this is a nice one to buy from. And how will I know? I want to see the price get here, give a reaction. Since I'm on a higher time frame, since it's a POI on a 4-hour time frame, we can watch out for maybe 5 minutes or 15 minutes time frame change of character, then we buy.